And it goes a little something like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is I, your three-time former champion, Katie Kaboom, and I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, the 12-time former Ramblemania champion of the world, TJ the Great. TJ the
12
Great.
plus 2. Add 2 to those. I'm 14.
You're
I'll
14.
shop. 14-time champion of all the realms
Where
is
the
where
fuck
I
did I
stand.
lost count?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. It's a lot to keep count of, so I understand. But 14 of them things. I was going for number 15 this past Saturday.
Oh, you were trying to
Saturday.
do Randy Orton?
Yeah. I was trying to pull a Randy Orton. He was also going for 15, but was not to be for either of us.
But
So it is what it is.
congratulations, David. If I'm gonna lose, I'm glad it was to you. But I heard I was Shawn Michaels and I really kicked that, so I'm good.
Yeah, you ended up runner up in the 5-way sim. So
Wait,
yeah,
who
you did
else was
well.
with us?
It was you, Dave, me, Hazel, and Twin. Twin. Yeah.
How did Twin get in? Did he even show up that night?
Not on the stream, but I mean, he made the right predictions enough to get in the sim.
Oh fuck!
The
Yo, man,
tribal chief did not show up and he did not win. Unlike the WWE tribal chief, who did not show up but won. I mean, he showed up, but he usually doesn't. 2 days, the go home show to the Royal Rumble in a big newsworthy week for WWE, as they're going to talk about on this show. All but one thing, of course. But I guess that's why we're here, to talk about the things that they want to talk about and the things that they would rather not talk about. So I guess before we get to the SmackDown, we do have some news items here to get through and go over real quick.
can we talk about how that press conference was trash? At least on Tripp's part, I was so proud of both. First of all, Bailey almost made me cry, and Cody just said everything politically correct to the point. Like he was like a PR person burst him for this.
So what I want to say about the press conference is shambolic is probably the best word I could use to describe the whole situation. But obviously more Triple H than anything else. But like with Cody, yeah, Cody gave, like I said in the chat, Cody gave the expected PR answer that I would have expected Triple H to give, but Triple H folded. Like there's no better way to put it. Like he folded under
I
pressure. And again, this is exactly why you ask the questions. That's what I have to really say about the press conference as a whole. Like it's
you know
understandable if Cody Rhodes or Bailey or any other wrestler is up there and you just want to ask about, something related to them or whatever. Like maybe you don't want to be the one to ask the question. Maybe you want to stick to something that is relevant to them, or maybe you feel like they're not the person that needs to be under the scrutiny. Whatever the reason may be, I can understand you holding the questions that need to be asked until Triple H gets up there. But once Triple H gets up there, if you're not going to ask the questions that need to be asked to him, then get the fuck out of here. Leave. I understand that a lot of these people are content creators and they're trying to generate content. They're trying to make a living in this space, which is a great thing. I support that. But when you are media, be it journalist or content creator or whatever, when you are media and you're invited to a press conference with a major company to ask questions, and that major company is under investigation for sex trafficking, Triple H should not get any questions other than those pertaining to the lawsuit. He shouldn't have gotten any other questions. Like the fact that people got to go up and ask Triple H about the Forbidden Door, Jordan Grace, get the fuck out of here, man. Like,
listen, but you were happy about that too. Shut up.
Jordan Grace being in the Rumble is cool, but I mean, like, us sitting here talking about it on a podcast is one thing. Being in front of Triple H and having the opportunity to ask him about Vince McMahon in the lawsuit when he is potentially named in the lawsuit, and you choose to ask about Jordan Grace. Shout out to Jordan Grace, but like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing?
And
Get
but
out of the
then
way.
and
Let
look
the
at
people
but
who are
wait,
gonna do
but
what actually needs to be
that.
done here do it.
Forget that. Because you knew there was always gonna be that one person that asked the question and did, right? But what did Trips do? He
He
put
tried to deflect, but I
he
mean, he did so in a grossly irresponsible way.
he's like, I want to focus on the positive. And then another thing is when they said about like first of all, I don't think they asked him when he found out. He volunteered information in a way trying to say that he found out the same time everyone else did, but I find that far fetched because if Shane now they came out that he had issues with Vince because of this, and then Stephanie stepped down unexpectedly last year. You telling me you don't know a goddamn thing?
And that's my point of going back to why you always ask the questions, no matter what you think you're going to get as a response, because you just need something on the record. And now what we have on the record is Triple H saying, I didn't know about this until you found out about it. I didn't even read the lawsuit. Like, first of all, yes, he's lying. I'm pretty sure he's lying. But even if he isn't, let's say on the small chance he isn't lying and he really did find out about that lawsuit that day and he really was finding all about it real time, same as us, you are the fucking head of creative of a company that is about to undergo a major lawsuit. What the fuck is wrong with you? And why didn't you read it? Why
And
wouldn't you
what's
read it?
wrong? And what's wrong with your PR people? Like, did they not teach you better?
Like, if this came out Friday, nigga, fuck SmackDown. Give SmackDown to Sean or whoever the fuck is back there. Like, you gotta read this shit. You have to be on top of this shit so you can know what the hell is going on. And again, this is only operating under the assumption that he didn't know. That's bullshit. He knew. But under operating under the assumption that he didn't know, it is now your responsibility to figure it the fuck out. And again, it's why you ask the questions, and it's why that display at the media scrum was pitiful, disgraceful. Like there's giving non-answers. Like shit. We go back to AEW, their last pay-per-view. Tony Khan got asked about Chris Jericho and that situation, which I mean is not the same situation, but it is alongside the same class of harassing a woman or whatever. And Tony Khan, he more or less gave non-answers, but he gave the answers you would expect in those situations, which is to say, you know, that's a situation I can't speak on, but we, are looking into it and we will do everything to protect people at this company. That's,
But,
it doesn't solve the issue at all. It doesn't solve the issue at all, but it at least gives something for the record and shows a degree of leadership as opposed to what Triple H said here, which was just, we signed a deal with Netflix nigga.
they go, how are you going to rectify the situation? And he goes, the only thing I could say is everything. Like that was such a dramatic moment that I'm just like, why are you pushing it like this? I woke up after like I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was watching the media scrum on YouTube. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's a dismissive bullshit non-answer. We're doing everything. Like everything how? You apparently didn't even read the lawsuit. You apparently don't even really know what's going on. So what is everything? What do you even think you need to do to ensure that people are protected? Did you even know whether or not people are feeling protected or not protected? Like it's and again, these are things that should have been followed up on at the press conference, but apparently we only had the couple of people there that were willing to go in on this. So shout out to them. Um, but it's a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation that you know going into it. Like I said during the stream, I wasn't feeling just sitting here and watching WWE. I didn't feel it for this show. Like and we're gonna talk about it, but like the main reason I keep saying all that is because while I understand why people just want to sit back and watch wrestling and enjoy themselves despite hearing all the bullshit, is like I can't in good conscience look at this company undergoing these accusations, look at them put Hulk Hogan on the opening video package of a pay per view, look
Yeah, that
at
was a little
Triple
weird.
H give dismissive non answers in a press conference when directly asked about the situation, and at best give non answers and at worst lie. Like, what I need in order to ever want to continue to engage with WWE on any level, and I really don't at this point. But what I would need is for an assurance that the culture that was set by Vince McMahon at this company is going to change now. And nothing I saw from this weekend indicates that that's going to change. The only thing that might indicate a change is if they get into enough trouble to where Ari Emanuel and the TKO board has no other choice. And that's what we got to hope for.
And still all the hypocrisy, because then you have the Bellas who then said, wait, I have it right here too. Um, they issued a statement regarding the accusations against Vince. We are shocked and disheartened with the recent allegation against members of the WWE. It's been a lot to process since we found out this past week, just as all you did. I'm so tired of people saying this, by the way. This is something we don't stand for or condone from anyone, no matter who they are. We want all women to feel safe and supported in the workplace and in their everyday lives.
And it's a difficult situation because like while yes, John Laurinaitis, who is named in this suit alongside Vince, is, he's their father in law and he was a higher up. So I'm sure it's a lot to process, but at the same time, it's also like if we as fans have heard all these different types of stories about John Laurinaitis for years. Like one of the main things people used to say about him is as head of talent relations, he used to pick women based off of how whether or not he wanted to have sex with them. Like famously, he told AJ Lee, "No one wants to fuck you. You're not gonna make it here." That's the type of person that John Laurinaitis has always been purported to be for as long as he's been within the WWE system. And that's just based on things that have trickled back to us fans. So people that were within the company, you had to know something on some level. I'm not saying that, the Garcia twins or anyone else might have known exactly what was going on in this specific scenario, but based on all the things that have come out about these people over the years, you knew some level of the depravity and fuck shit that these people were up to. And now that it's out, now that it's coming out, I hope the Garcia twins can assist and tell what they know. And that goes for anybody that's been in WWE. Because people there who have worked there have to know something on some level.
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people, especially people there with tenure who have worked there for a long time and like got close to Vince. Like maybe they weren't close enough to be in the inner circle where all that was going down, but like again, if the stories get back to us as fans, I know that you people who have worked for him, employees, have to know something on some level, no matter how small you might think it is. It's worth coming out and saying at this point.
But how do you even make reform now within a company like that?
That's the thing. Like I've been saying the entire time, the rot runs so deep in that company because of the fact, like for anybody thinking, well, they got rid of Vince, so the problem is solved. The problem is not solved because Vince was the guy there. He's the face of the company. He built the company in his image and built it as such for over 40 years. So many of the people up top and that make that company go on all levels are in some way, shape, or form tied to Vince and a part of that corruption. Like the rot runs too deep for you to just say, all right, well, this is the guy that did it. So now he's gone. It shouldn't happen anymore. Like he created and fostered a culture that allowed him to do this. Even after the company went public, company's been public for almost 25 years now. There should be no way he should have gotten away with this shit because there's supposed to be a system of checks and balances. But he did for so long. So, like I've been saying, the company has to be gutted. Like you gotta get in there with the knife and weed out all the bad apples. Like, and if that means there's a couple of people that go, if that means there's dozens of people that go, maybe even hundreds if it goes that deep. If it means that those people have to go, then they have to go. That's what you would think anyway, hoping that Endeavor and TKO do the right thing here. That's what I think should happen. That's what I hope happens, but we have to see.
Could you say you're surprised by all of this? Because remember, Dark Side of the Ring talked about the whole debacle in the airplane, and
I'm, and that's probably the worst thing of all about it. I'm
it
not
came,
surprised to hear about this. Shocked me. I mean, like
but can you really be shocked knowing that there's been rumors of things like this happening for
it's
years?
it's not shocked so much at the idea that it could happen, but it's the like I read the complaint. Like when you read the complaint, there's being told stories about what a weirdo Vince is, and then there's like seeing it laid out bare from the perspective of one of his victims. Like it's jarring, it's different. Like you can't throw a Vince voice on it or anything. Like is that fucked up? And I know people have tried, but it's just, like again, I'm not surprised that Vince McMahon and them would do this because again, for years we've been told that. It's just seeing it laid out bare like that is
It, it,
jarring. It's a lot to deal with.
it's disgusting.
It is. It is. It's part of why again, I feel so strongly about it because again, we like I keep saying, we've all heard these types of things about Vince for so long, but this is like an actual detailed account. That's the thing. The details of this are what make it so damning, and what the more details that come out, because now that this is open and an investigation is going on, if they decide to move forward with the case, then there could be even more information that comes out via emails and text message records and all that type of stuff. Like we already got some text here in the complaint, but there now could be a lot more should they really pursue this and go to town on trying to get the full story uncovered. Again, they would rather you think that The Rock just joined. We're on Netflix. Everything's great. We're doing the Royal Rumble. Everything's great. But this is a real story, and this is the story that should be talked about in professional wrestling, and especially WWE's corner of professional wrestling. Like this is the story.
It needs to just be real change, and let's hope now people actually speak up.
Yes, that's the hope at this point, that enough people speak up and make noise and put pressure on the people that need the pressure applied, so that you know we can get to a point where everybody can enjoy WWE and not have to worry about what's going on with the people in charge of it. We at the Bailey Appreciation Society, listen, me, Chief King Simp, um, we salute her winning the Royal Rumble. Like I said on the pay per view, well deserved, and hopefully it leads to the run that she should have gotten years ago.
Now,
Um,
do you think she'll challenge Rhea or she'll actually go for Io?
I mean, every indicator to me is that she'll challenge Io. Like it'll be she's gonna challenge Rhea, she's gonna challenge Rhea, and then something happens and they betray her, and she goes after Io. That's what I think.
I hope so. Because she'll lose against Rhea. They
Probably. I
won't.
mean,
The way that her storyline is set up, they're not gonna let her go
her
like
facing Rhea would probably be good though, just off the strength of
it never
she'll
happened.
be over. like, because no one that ever wrestles Rhea is over, and so the crowd just ends up chanting for mommy the whole match. I don't think that would happen with Bailey, so maybe she
Oh,
should wrestle Rhea because I don't know who's gonna wrestle Rhea otherwise.
eh.
I hope it's someone that is actually over. Becky. It should be Becky because Becky's probably the only other person that won't happen to, or Bianca. Becky or Bianca.
I mean, Bianca's looking to get her lick back, so.
Yeah, so I mean,
But
they got to figure something out
but
because
they did tease Jade versus Bianca.
oh yeah, that'd also be a pretty big match. So yeah, you want to do that? You can do that. SmackDown rating real quick so we can talk about the damn show. Go home edition to the Royal Rumble did 2.4 million viewers, a 7-1 in 18 to 49, which again, super numbers, highest since September of last year, highest key demo number since August of last year. Great numbers going into SmackDown. Like again, WWE, everything, all the other stuff aside, they're hot right now. They're doing good numbers, selling out houses, doing good on TV. It's WrestleMania season, so the numbers usually go up anyway. Then they had all that positive buzz from the Netflix acquisition, and then The Rock joining the board. Like all that happened. I mean, in a fucked up way, even the Vince news probably helped a little bit. Just so like the last time, people tuned in to see are they going to talk about it? What's going on? So you know, being in the news and being a hot product, it all boils down to good numbers for WWE. So
And don't forget though, Randy Orton got a song.
yeah, Randy Orton is out here with his man's RKO and motherfuckers. So shall we get to the show? Shall we talk
Are
about
you
this damn thing?
are you ready, sir?
Ready as I'll ever be to talk about this shit.
Give me a second, Mello. I'm sorry. In the name of the Bob Marley gods, the Ramble Maniacs, the Raw Zonies, whatever you want to call us, I now declare this to SmackDown. I was SmackDown in the Rainbow Zone. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, indeed, it is
So,
Friday Night SmackDown.
the
It is
Go Home episode.
Yes, it is from Miami, Florida, home of the Miami Heat, a real organization and one that would
Yours?
never allow such bullshit. One thing I do like that they did. We opened with the Kabuki Warriors and KC Squared both pulling up. They did like a sports thing, like these two are going at it for the championship tonight. Very sports like, and I guess that's a mark of the new guy that they got in video direction. I forgot his name. But yeah, now that Kevin Dunn is gone, they have a new guy in video direction who I believe worked for ESPN doing college football. So
Who works video direct?
good that he's implementing some sports into the product. I like the Kabuki Warriors and KC Square thing. That was cool. Then we got a recap of last week. Less cool. I don't like that as much.
But then,
Yes, then we head to the ring where Eladio Carrion
carry
is in
on.
there to introduce the man who he made a song about, his boy, Randy Orton.
I have choices in my hand.
So Randy hits the ring, the boys hit the pose. It's all very nice stuff. Randy's like, and I bet nobody realized that I was even cool with my boy Eladio over here. I didn't know that. And then he's like, yo, I want to thank you for putting me in your video, for having me out there. But now I want to talk business. Let's talk about the bloodline. He speaks on Roman holding the title for almost 1,300 days. But he says after the Rumble, the only number that's going to mean anything is 15 because I'm going to become a 15-time world champion. But as he says that, he is interrupted by AJ Styles, who comes out and says, I'm in this freaking match as well, so you shouldn't forget about me. Then he says, I've been getting stepped over for weeks now with that freaking LA Knight and Roman Reigns. And you know what? At the Royal Rumble, I'm going to step over you, and I'm going to step over LA Knight, and I'm going to step over Roman Reigns. And then as he says LA Knight's name, the music hits, and that man comes out. Yeah. He says,
Yeah,
AJ, you quit crying, you dummy. Yeah.
yeah.
He says, I look around And I see I'm the only one that's got to wrestle Solo Sikoa, and I got to do it right before the Rumble, which means that Paul Heyman tried to set me up because he knows I'm the biggest threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he says, you know what? It doesn't matter because I'm going to step over everyone and win the title, and that's just a fact of life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he turns around and leaves, and then AJ Styles is like, oh, yeah, well, watch this. Pele kicks Randy Orton, and that's the segment. Yeah. Did you like it? Because for me, you seen one, you seen them all.
I feel like it's just the same thing, even though having Eladio there was like a good touch because I love that fucking music video. He RKO'd the cameraman. It's just like, yo, but I'm like totally fangirling you.
Yeah. Like Eladio being there to put over the song and all that was cool. Like that was fine. But like again, with these, you seen one WWE opening promo, you seen them all. They accomplished in 10 minutes what could have been accomplished in 5. Everybody out there talking and babbling, and we set up a match. But LA Knight, I will give it up to LA Knight though. He's got the goods, and whenever he comes out, the crowds they cannot wait to do his shtick with him. They want to do they want to do the big megastar with everybody saying LA Knight. They want to do all this shtick with him. So if you're gonna keep doing these promos, he's probably the guy you should have in there.
According to Bleacher Report, Punk confirmed reports that he suffered a torn tricep and will be forced to miss WrestleMania 40. Reports surfaced on Monday that he got it during the men's Royal Rumble match on Saturday. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Punk is believed to be heading towards surgery following his appearance on Raw. Johnson added the belief that Punk will be facing 4 to 6 months of recovery time and physical therapy, with a return to the ring this summer being his best case scenario.
Yep. So I mean, crazy, unlucky turn of events for old Pepsi Man. He comes back to get his Mania main and probably stick it to Tony, and he got hurt. That's unfortunate. It's not funny.
That's
It's just
karma.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
It's karma.
Yeah, just the chain of it's like it's not funny that Punk got hurt, but just the chain of events and the context around it, all of them is
I hope you know
crazy.
though. I kind of did went into the middle school classroom and said, "Who's the bum now?" Because they said CM Punk was gonna win. I'm like, so who's the bum now, guys? Because I know it ain't Cody. That's a 2-time Royal Rumble winner right there, back to back.
He's a bum too. He's gonna lose the Mania.
Who's the fucking bum now? To the ring, and the scene for Carlito hits, and he comes out accompanied by the LWO duo of Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. As he settles in the ring for our opening match of this week's show, we shift gears to a stupid pre-match bitch-ass commercial break. When we return, we see Carlito in the ring awaiting the arrival of his opponent. The theme for Santos Escobar hits, and he comes out with Angel and Humberto. They remain in ringside as does the LWO. The bell sounds and we're officially off and running. Santos jumps into the early offense lead, and then we lead into a mid-match break. Again, what the fuck? When we return, we see Santos tear the shirt off Carlito and continue to pummel him. Carlito eventually fires up and takes over on offense as the crowd in Miami comes to life in the background. The LWO and Legado del Fantasma end up breaking out in the fucking big ass brawl. Cruz del Toro hits a wild high splash to the floor, and out of nowhere, NXT superstar Elektra Lopez hits the ringside area and fucks up Zelina Vega. The distraction allows Santos to pin Carlito for the win.
Yeah, this was despite the fact that Michael Cole and Corey Graves were on commentary, trying their hardest to. This is so personal, deeply personal. They use the word personal like 50 times.
Oh
This
my
deeply
god,
personal feud.
you noticed how Michael Cole kept doing that? Like he just became so monotone to me that episode.
Yeah, he just kept saying deeply personal while fucking Carlito and Santos are just in here like exchanging holds. Like it don't seem that personal to me. They're just wrestling in there, but okay. And then Elektra Lopez is debuting, I assume, because they were acting like, oh my god, that's from NXT. Oh my god. So yeah, she's new. I mean, I remember her from OG Legado, but I guess she's new to SmackDown. Yeah. So yeah, fine. Santos wins. Whatever.
We backstage and we see Jimmy Uso pretty much talk to AJ Styles saying they have an opportunity to take out LA Knight, which is good for Styles and good for him going and the bloodline going into the 4-way match.
Yes, he's like, you gotta take out LA Knight, and then they walk away, and then the Bullet Club walks up, and they're like, "Hey, what was that about?" And they're just like, "It's freaking nothing. I'm no one right now. I'm in my no one phase." Yeah, we got damn Nick Aldis with uh Ava Rain. That's her name, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Ava Rain, NXT GM apparently.
Isn't that The Rock's daughter?
That is The Rock's daughter, and she's also apparently the GM of NXT now for some
The
reason.
youngest GM.
Yeah, why is that? Why'd they do that? We don't know.
Because they let Paige go.
I guess. Either way, I'm not mad at it or nothing. I'm just curious. Um,
Favoritism.
so yeah, people are drawing numbers for the Royal Rumble. They got the tumbler. So then Bobby Lashley comes in, he draws one. Then Santos comes in, and he draws one, and there you go. Then we get probably the best thing on the show, a Bailey video package. Um,
Bailey Appreciation Society.
Yeah, just a video package chronicling her journey back from her injury and how she formed Damage Control. And then she says, we dominated this, and we dominated so much that Kyrie came back from Japan to join us. And then Asuka saw how powerful we were, and she joined us too. And now I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, and I'm going to win the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Again, in this video, she says she's going to face Rhea. So again, they're telling you on the face that that's the plan, but obviously the story is probably going to be that she wrestles Io, and that leads to the women's tag team championships on the line. The Kabuki Warriors versus the Gang, the Chips, KC Squared. I was cool with it because I like KC Squared. I like Kabuki Warriors. But then they come out and first R-Truth is in the back and he draws a number for the Rumble because R-Truth shenanigans. Then
Protect
Casey's
our truth at all costs.
yes, at all costs. He is the guy. But then KC Square comes out. They're the champs, but all Michael Cole and Corey Graves are giving them is this generic ass, they like to have fun commentary, which doesn't make me feel great about how their presentation may have been going. They like to have fun. They've held the titles forever, but no one seems to really care otherwise. So they get in, they send the Kabuki Warriors packing early, and then we come back. Heat's underway. That was the other thing. Fucking all their babyface shine. This is a high flying duo, by the way. Casey Kanzara and Kaden Carter, they can do like cool flips and shit. They don't show none of that. They just show them getting heat and cut off. So
And basic.
red flags all over the place that I would normally be up for ignoring, but I ain't ignoring them this time. Red flags all over the place.
Super red flag.
The heat's underway. We come back. Katana needs a tag, but Kaden isn't on the apron. So she makes it back, gets the tag, hits a crossbody to the floor. Kyrie and Asuka hit a double sliding D combo for a near fall. Then Kyrie fires up, hits the back fist, goes for the insane elbow, but Kaden blocks that. So then KC squared, they hit the kickstand, which is their finisher. For the 1-2, she got her. No, it's broken up. And then Kyrie takes Katana outside and hits an Alabama slam on the table. Fucked her up crazy style. And then follows up on Kaden in the ring with the insane elbow for the 1, 2, and 3. Your winners and new tag team champions are the Kabuki Warriors. And to cap off this triumvirate of red flags, they give the heels triumphant pyro. It's just, I mean, I liked the work they did in the match. The match seemed like it could have been fun, but the production around it and the pacing and the presentation of it all just it's WWE in a nutshell. Good wrestlers, but what they're surrounded by makes it hard for you to actually enjoy it.
Can we talk about though in the commentary, like they're here praising the Kabuki Warriors for their win, and then they're talking about, well, is Bailey gonna actually make the Royal Rumble so she can get that gold?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about either. I mean, I guess they're trying to tell the story because, like, when they win, the rest of them come out and they're all celebrating, and Bailey comes out and she's celebrating, and she's running up trying to give high fives and hugs, but they're all ignoring her. And I guess the commentators aren't smart enough to fucking just say that. You notice they're ignoring Bailey, so I guess that was their way of trying to sell the story. Because that's the story. Like, Damage Control seems locked in, but the person that's supposed to be the leader, they don't seem to really care about her right now. So
We shoot backstage and we see Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and the YOG Paul Heyman standing around the Bloodline locker room. Heyman tells Solo Sikoa he needs to send a message and have no mercy in doing so tonight. He smirks and says he will. Uso asks if he just smirked. He said that was fucking scary. Heyman then closes in on Uso and whisper hypes him up by telling him how important Saturday night is. He tells him he needs to be the Royal Rumble and go on to beat Seth freaking Rollins for the other world title in WWE.
other.
That was the homie damn title. Now that was just confirmed.
Yeah, we already know that. And shit. If I was Jimmy, well, Jimmy's a dick rider, so he wouldn't say it. But if it was me, I'd be like, why you want me to go for the bullshit title?
And then we go back into the arena. We're doing a lot of back and forth shifting, aren't we, today?
Yeah.
The theme for Bobby Lashley hits and comes out the Almighty himself with Street Profit duo of Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. As the Pride Trio steps into the ring, we head to another super fucking commercial break. Then we see another Rumble Ready commercial from Hulk Hogan teasing his possible participation in the 30-man Rumble battle on Saturday night. I'm so glad that didn't happen.
I got one more in me, dude.
No, you don't. When we
Just
return,
ridiculous.
no, you don't. When we return, Lashley talks about how much he and the prophets have accomplished, and then tell the Final Testament to quit beating around the bush and come out and fight. The Final Testament makes their way out, but all of them except Scarlett stop at the top of the stage. Scarlett goes into the ring. Then Lashley pretty much tries to insult his manhood, Carrie's manhood, asking if their lady is fighting for them. Paul Ellering gets on the mic and puts over Carrie and Cross in the AOP. Cross then gets on the mic and says they are face to face, but they aren't fighting tonight. Lashley says that's where you wrong. He goes to fight him, but Scarlett jumps on his back and scratches out his eyes. Cross and the AOP hit the ring and do a 4-on-2 beatdown of the Prophets, and they do the same to the Almighty. They stand tall to end the face-to-face segment.
Good evening to Brunette Scarlet Bordeaux and only Brunette Scarlet Bordeaux. That's my thoughts on this segment.
Hello.
Those are my only thoughts.
Listen, man. Scarlet Bordeaux.
Yes. Fantastic looking woman. Incredible.
You know what the worst part is? We went from this to seeing ugly ass Austin Theory.
Well, first, before that, we go to the GM's office again because Jimmy comes in to draw his number. He draws his number and he just looks at it and he says, "No yeet." That's not a number, nigga. What the fuck was your number? Talk about some no yeet.
Didn't he go in number 1?
He was number 2. Jay was number 1. So yeah, all that so they could do yeet versus no yeet, whatever. Austin Theory versus Carmelo Hayes. Before that, we get a Kevin Owens Logan Paul video package. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, my notes went crazy. I blacked out. This match was bad nothing. They basically did the match that they did last week up to the point where they bonked heads and then just finished the match. That's all that happened. It's the same shit. Theory held the tights. He got the win. And then he and Waller are going to jump Melo post-match. But then Trick Williams comes out. He runs down, gets the save, gets a big pop. Everybody's doing whoop that trick. So he's over. Everybody fucking with him. Then Mello, he's like, oh, it's my boy. He goes to dap him up, but then Trick is like, nah, I saved you tonight, so we got a match on Tuesday. Are they not boys anymore? What happened? I don't watch NXT, so I don't.
I mean, you asking me? You guys just got me to start watching Collision faithfully.
Collision, yeah, but that, the real shit be going on in Collision. I don't know what's going on in NXT. Last I knew, Mello and Trick were boys. Like they weren't like a team anymore. I remember that because I think they said like Mello and Trick just was like we gonna do our own thing now, but they were still boys. So are they not boys now?
I guess not.
All right. So I mean I guess I gotta watch NXT to see, and I'm not doing that. So whatever. Trick is here, and he and Mello got things to figure out. Good for them, but good for Trick for being over. And now it looks like there's been enough talk. It's time.
There was Uzi. Big Eats
It
were not.
might as well just be coming out talking about some Uzi, yeet, yeet, no yeet, because that was ain't shit happening in this match. LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. LA Knight, I do like that LA Knight. He was trying something. Like he went after Solo's hand because fuck up his hand, cut off the spike. But then they start fighting. They start fighting outside, these two. And it's not a no DQ match. It's a regular one-on-one. So the ref starts counting because, count out. But just WWE fans are so programmed that just the concept of fighting outside, you should just went outside and fought for a moment. Instantly, we want tables. We want tables. Crowd starts cheering for tables. I'm like, what? What makes you think there's going to be a table bump here? What? But that's the thing. WWE fans don't care about shit but finishers and tables.
Bring the table. Bring the table.
It's crazy. But LA Knight, he makes a comeback on Solo, gets him into the corner. He's stomping away, running knee follows. He knocks Jimmy off the apron, then sends Solo outside. He goes toward the announce table, and again, every time they approach the table, the crowd is just like, oh, table? And nothing. Instead, you actually get something much worse than a table spot. You get a DQ finish. Yeah, thanks for playing.
Oh, you
Solo.
mean the DQ finish like Logan Paul?
Yes. Exactly like that, in fact. Oh, wait, not exactly like that, but pretty much. AJ jumps over the barricade. He hits LA Knight. He's down. Crowd starts chanting for Randy Orton as Jimmy gives AJ a chair. He's like, take him out. Take him out, Oos. Let's finish him off. And AJ, he's looking. And then Solo walks up. He's like, you better take him out. I'm going to take you out. And they're just like, you're not going to freaking talk to me like that. So he attacks both Solo and Jimmy. And then they start jumping him. But then Randy comes down. He gets involved. He takes everyone out. He's standing tall. And the credit thing plays. And it's like, oh, Randy Orton standing tall going into the Rumble. But then LA Knight pops up and drops him with the BFT. And then Michael Cole's like, oh, LA Knight, BFT. And then that's it. The show goes off. Well, that's SmackDown. My money, my thoughts. Bare, formulaic, McDonald's pro wrestling. It was fine.
It was KFC.
It wasn't terrible, but like, yeah, like I'll put it like this. I say McDonald's because I say you go to McDonald's, you get a Big Mac or whatever, you get 10-piece nuggets, whatever you like from McDonald's. It's usually gonna taste fine. And, it's quick, it's easy. You get in, you get out, you enjoy it. But on a day where you don't particularly have a taste for it, and, someone pulls in the house with McDonald's, and you're like, well, I don't want to waste money, and I don't want to cook up nothing else, but I don't really want a Big Mac today. You eat the Big Mac, and it tastes fine. But again, you're just not feeling it. Yeah, you're gonna soldier through it. You're gonna eat your food. You're gonna move on. You'll be sustained. He's like, all right, I ate a burger. I watched the wrestling show. Okay, let me move on now. Like, and obviously for me, this is skewed because I don't watch the show weekly. But even if I did, like I feel like the format is so dated and off-putting. Like they threaded a story through this show, which was the bloodline trying to take out LA Knight. So if you're gonna thread that through and then try to pay that off in the main, don't do a DQ. Like, because now the story's not paid off. And I know the point is to just push along to the 4-way for the Rumble, but like for me, it's filler and I don't need it and I don't care. Like, it doesn't get me more invested in the story. It gets me less invested. And my investment is already at 0. So you've lost me.
I mean, they got like a 0.5 because they put Brunette, Scarlet Widow, and
They
Bailey.
do get some points for Brunette, Scarlet Bordeaux, and a whole ass Bailey video package. I will respect those two things. But other than that, like I ain't feel like eating a Big Mac tonight, and I ate a Big Mac, and like I don't know what you want me to say. It's a Big Mac. It tastes like a Big Mac, but I don't always want that. That's what WWE is.
I think
Yeah,
Melo,
Big Mac is fine, but I ain't try to fuck with a Big Mac.
I think Melo didn't like it because he just now jumped on my lap.
He like, yeah, get off this shit. Stop talking about this SmackDown shit. I feel you, Melo. I feel you. But yeah, that's my thoughts on SmackDown.
I mean, SmackDown was just mid. Um, I like honestly the R-Truth segment made me laugh, but then again, R-Truth kept me dying through the Rumble too.
Yeah, like that's WWE. Like you're gonna get your bloodline, you're gonna get your Randy, you're gonna get your R-Truth. You're gonna get an R-Truth segment every week, and you'll probably laugh at it and enjoy it because R-Truth is genuinely funny. But if you up for that, you'll have fun. If not, then you know what you're gonna get at least. I say that. You know what you're gonna get.
But that's what SmackDown on the SmackDown.
Yes. That is what SmackDown, that is what's going on. At least on the TV of this company. Obviously, what we talked about at the top is what's going on, most importantly, and what needs to be addressed. So I will again express my hope that it is addressed, but I'm also not going to hold my breath because I've been around too long,
So the company
unfortunately.
sucks.
I've been around too long.
But the company sucks.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Oh, rest in peace to Otis's mom.
Oh my God, yeah, rest in peace. I didn't know nothing like that happened.
Yeah, he posted on his Instagram. I think this was early in the morning this morning, and I originally thought it was his grandmother, but then PW Mania and a few other sources said it was his mom.
Yeah, that's a rough one. It's the one we all fear. So heart goes out to him.
Whew. But on that note, you can find me everywhere at IamIvy.xo underscore. Sorry, that sounded just fucked up of me. I didn't mean it like that, but I didn't want to.
It's understandable. It's understandable.
um, and then you can find the Raw Zone everywhere at www.rawzonenyc.com and at Raw Zone NYC on social media platforms. Remember, you can catch us also on Pulso 82.3, Elgin Sound Radio, and all your digital streaming podcast platforms.
Yes, indeed. And of course, as for the Ramble Mania show, you already know where to find us on Instagram at Ramble Mania Show and Advancer Club. On Twitter at Ramblemania, Facebook.com/Ramblemania Show. Also, the group there, Ramblemania Show's Banter Club. On audio, or on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, everywhere podcasts are found. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. As far as visuals, twitch.tv/Ramblemania Show. We're on Spotify video. We're on YouTube. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. When you get here, like the videos, click subscribe, click the bell so that when a new content drops, it goes straight to you.
Yeah.
As for me personally, find me on Instagram at TJ the Great One. That's TJ the GR, the number 8, the number 1. Find me on Twitter at TJ the Great. That's TJ the GR, the number 8. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
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 Now you can catch Kevin on Raw Rants while he continues to watch the product he doesn't want to watch.
I'm definitely not watching Raw. Definitely not. Then I won't be watching it on Netflix either. Spoilers.
I still don't understand how they can have live content on Netflix.
Probably same way they do it on the other streaming services now. It's things have upgraded.
So I mean, they gotta buy the package somewhere else now.
Yeah, it'll probably be just something like you can go press it. Like it'll be like, hey, Monday Night Raw is on, and you can press it and it'll play live.
Yeah, because T-Mobile pays for my Netflix, bro.
Oh well, then I mean, I think it's on every tier, so you're good regardless.
I hope so. If not, I guess I ain't doing SmackDown for a while.
I don't think Netflix even locks content behind tiers. I think it's just ads. So yeah, it's good regardless. You're good.
Oh, okay.
And given that it's WWE, well, they'll probably figure out a way to put ads on there. So I won't say that. But yeah, that's the show.
But on behalf of the Ramble Mania gods and everyone that's involved in this, and Bob Marley, of course, because you can't do this without Bob Marley. Bid y'all a good fight. And sir, how do we end this?
The fight ended good night. Guns up.
Good night.